Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So today I want to talk about Cathie Wood and ARK Invest and how they dumped Coinbase. Why did they do this? And why did they take a massive loss by doing so? And also, let's talk about Bitcoin's next imminent move that will be coming after this afternoon. All right, let's get started. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out cryptosrust.com and follow the brand new Clips channel. I am George channel and my brand new Reacts channel that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apologize for the sound mix-up. Man, that always gets me. Or maybe I do it on purpose. All right, well, you can see right now, before the big Fed decision, things are looking good. Green. The markets are reacting pretty well right now, despite the fact that we don't know what Fed Chair Powell is going to say. Is he going to raise rates by 75 basis points or 100? Or even something crazier, 125, 150. Most people don't think that he's going to go crazy and do that. But I think majority of Wall Street is pricing in that, well, you know, he's probably going to stay on track and do 75 basis point, and that'll be fine. That's already priced in, right? So that is what it's looking like right now, though I have a feeling, despite the fact that we are way in the green, like plus 1.5% NASDAQ, that's going to start creeping down as we get closer to that press conference, which is coming approximately 2:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Central Standard Time. So we're probably going to see some volatility leading up to that point, right? And I think it's going to be the same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 21.3 right now. It has come down a little bit from its previous 24,000 high, but you can see still trending upwards, and I do think this afternoon we're going to see some movement. All right, we're going to see some movement. Me personally thinking, I'm thinking that this is going to be a good event, not a bad event. I'm thinking that it will be 75 basis points, and Powell will be more dovish and say, well, you know, inflation is probably going to be coming down. You know, some of the things that we're seeing are transitory, and it's just like, you know, we'll be nimble and reevaluate in September, right? I'm thinking that's how it's going to be, but who knows? Who knows? We don't have to wait much longer. I will be streaming. So since it's in a couple hours, I will be streaming, and we could all watch it together and see what he says, right? So that is the big thing. And, of course, tomorrow we have GDP numbers, which will officially declare U.S. being in a recession, right, or in recession. So that is coming up tomorrow. But I don't think that's going to be a big mover of markets because we already know we're in recession. That's not a big deal. But let's move on. Let's move on to the main topic here. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest, sold off Coinbase, right? Yesterday was absolutely disastrous for Coinbase. Let's just bring them up because they were down 21%, way more than they should have been down. Right now, their market cap is only $12 billion. They're having a little bit of recovery today, 2%, but they sold off 21% yesterday. Of course, after it was reported that the SEC is probing into Coinbase, because the SEC feels like Coinbase has been listing a lot of security tokens, and they listed like 9 out of 20-something, right? No, they actually said that during the insider case, which still means that the SEC feels like the 200-plus tokens that's listed on Coinbase, vast majority of them are securities. So that is the reason why Cathie Wood decided to sell off. She didn't give any explanation. ARK Invest is usually really transparent. Any moves they do, it's public, so people are looking at what she did. And she sold off a massive amount of Coinbase, right? And she took a massive, massive loss. ARK Invest first bought Coinbase for $200 a share in 2021. This was the time when everyone was feeling good about Bitcoin and crypto. And of course, people FOMO in hard into crypto exchanges like Coinbase. I talked about Jim Cramer yesterday. Jim Cramer was predicting Coinbase to $450, right? Everyone was trying to FOMO in. And even after Coinbase started coming down, Cathie Wood still defended her position and bought more, right? So her average price is $254. $254. That's her average. So she didn't just buy it at 200. She bought it like way above, right? And now she's selling it, or she sold, around $50-something. You do the math. That's like a 75% loss right there, right? And we could all speculate. Oops, how did it go to iTrust Capital? We could all speculate that she did this because she's just very fearful. She doesn't like the fact that Coinbase is being probed by the SEC, right? So that happened. So it explains why Coinbase went down like 21%, because she's like, just dump it all, right? That's what happened. Was this a smart move? I'm gonna say no, because if you know anything about crypto and Bitcoin, you know that things go in waves, right? And obviously right now with the market weakness, of course, if you look at like profits and users and all that stuff on Coinbase, things that's measurable, of course, is down, right? And I think that has a lot of people fearful already that, somehow Coinbase can't survive this wave, can't survive this downturn. No, that's nonsense. Coinbase has survived it all. Over all the years, right, where it wasn't publicly traded, it was doing just fine, and Coinbase is much bigger than people think. They have so much going on. But plus, the fact that SEC probing into Coinbase, it's not like they're trying to shut them down. Gary Gensler just wants to control Coinbase. He wants to take over. He wants to dominate the crypto industry, right? So this probe is really just Gary setting, I don't know, kind of like, I guess it's his way of trying to bully, bully crypto overall, right? By saying, look at me, I could go after Ripple and I could go after Coinbase, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to result in anything. And a whole lot has not been declared in terms of, again, what's a security, what's not a security. So I think this is a little bit premature. I think this is premature. I think there's so much going on right now, right? But we all know there's going to be a lot more going on in the future. And when I say going on, great things going on in the future. So right now, dumping Coinbase after taking a 75% loss, probably not the best move, especially when the markets look like they want to start recovering, right? So we'll see. Only time will tell. Later on this year, let's see where Coinbase is, and let's see if Cathie Wood and ARK Invest made the right decision, right? But Mark Cuban expects the SEC to impose more crypto nightmare regulation rules. Again, I think it's all about control. Gary wants to control crypto. He wants to take over the entire industry. He already controls equities. He already controls ETFs, right? But that's not enough. He wants to control crypto too, which is why he's deeming everything a security, even though he's giving no explanation of what is a security and what isn't a security, and why he feels like almost all crypto companies are securities, right? We don't have any of those things. That's the thing with the Ripple lawsuit. The Ripple lawsuit, basically Ripple's like, tell us why you think we're a security. And SEC doesn't. SEC just accused them, right? So rather than innocent and proven guilty, it's guilty until proven innocent, right? That's why it's so frustrating for Ripple to win the case. And that's why they've been trying to get the information from their prior director in terms of what he said that declared Ethereum a commodity, They want that because they don't actually know why they're being they're declared or XRP is declared as a security, and why this whole thing. Like, how do you win if you don't even know why you're being declared a security in the first place, right? Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but we will get past it. We will get past it. All right, what else is going on today? Of course, there is a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of stuff. I did want to mention Harmony because it was a project I mentioned before. I thought they had a lot of promise, and Paco in here keeps shilling about Harmony, but I saw this proposal and I'm like, what the hell is the team doing? Right? It's just bad stuff. So Harmony recently lost $100 million to North Korean hackers. Their not Ronin Bridge, but their bridge was hacked for $100 million. And the hackers are not giving it back, even though Harmony proposed giving $1 million back or $10 million back, whatever. The hackers are not returning it. So Harmony basically lost all the money that was in the chain, this $100 million. So how do they plan on fixing the situation? Well, according to them, they thought long and hard, and the two proposals are this. Basically, they're going to inflate. They're going to inflate their circulating supply. One of them will be they will inflate it by $100 million worth, calculating that a Harmony token is around 20 cents. So they're going to inflate at 100% to get to that 100 million and distribute it, right? The second proposal is to inflate it like 50% and then distribute that. But here's the thing. When you inflate it, it automatically decreases the value, right? Because now you have more. This is why we have inflation. This is why the USD, right, is being inflated to nothing. Because when you just print more out of thin air, well, it decreases whatever is already there, right? It's the same thing. So if you inflate one tokens by X amount, right, to reimburse the 100 million, it's going to make all the other one tokens worth less, right? So that is what they're proposing. And what gets people more pissed off is because there is a treasury. Harmony does have a treasury, but with these two proposals, they're not saying, okay, we're going to take X amount of our treasury out too to help with this. No, they're saying we're not taking anything out of the treasury because we need it to survive, and then we're just going to inflate the tokens. And this is it. It seems like the tone is like you take it or leave it. We have no other proposals, right? So, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I saw this. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? There has to be a better way. And that treasury that they're protecting, well, give some of that back to prove to the users, the community, that you actually give a F, you know? So, yeah, I just want to bring that up. This is pretty bad. This is almost as bad as the Voyager proposal, which they already said, we're going to give people back with Voyager stock and Voyager tokens and some of the things and some of your crypto back, and whatever we collect from Three Arrows Capital. First of all, you're collecting zero from Three Arrows Capital, and no one wants a stock that's going to be worth zero, and no one wants a token that's going to be worth zero, right? So this is almost as bad as that proposal. Yeah, so there's that. What else is there? Well, there's good news. Fine. I mean, there are companies that's still thriving. Unstoppable Domains, which happens to be a partner of this channel, well, they just hit unicorn status. They raised another 65 million, right? And they're worth over $1 billion now, right? So it does show you that there are still companies that are thriving, right? Not everyone is struggling. Not everyone is a lending company like Celsius and Voyager and Vault and everyone else that's struggling, right? There are some good ones out there that is still doing well, and they'll continue on. And in case you don't know, Unstoppable Domains creates NFT-based domain names, which you can use for your wallet or website. So they're still thriving. So that's pretty good. And then lastly, as for Bitcoin, a few other metrics I haven't shown recently. One is miners balance. Now there's some talk about how some miners started to sell off, right? And you could see, yeah, there was a little dip on the top, but that dip has been filled already. So there's a lot of miners right now that are just mining and mining and mining and not selling and just hoarding all the Bitcoins that they mine, right? So Bitcoin mining balance or miners balance have reached a 4-year high. 4-year high, even though there was a small sell off right there, right? A small sell. Of course, that huge sell off you may have noticed in 2021, that's when China banned the miners, right? That's why there was like such a huge dramatic fall off in 2021. But you could see that, yeah, we are still recovering. So it shows you the miners are staying strong, right? And the number of BTC going into the exchanges being sold, right, is very, 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 very low right now, right? I have shown many metrics about net flow from the exchanges. It's all outflow right now. It's like all outflow. You have a ton of people buying and just taking their Bitcoin off the exchanges, right, and putting it into their own self-custodian cold wallets. And you have more and more people just taking Bitcoin off the exchanges. So this makes sense that the inflow, the number of people that's trying to panic dump Bitcoin right now is really, really low. There's really no one trying to panic dump Bitcoin at this point, other than if you're like Cathie Wood, all right? But everyone else is slowly buying back in, learning about Bitcoin, right? And of course, the holders and miners continue to stack sats. So it's really no surprise, really no surprise. All right, Bitcoin is coming up a little bit. Overall markets are doing good. For those of you guys that was hoping that you won Mega Millions, looks like no one won. The next jackpot is $1 billion. $1 billion. Can you imagine just winning $1 billion? These lotteries are crazy now. Crazy. Just imagine just winning. You're the sole winner of $1 billion. Man, just stop buying. Just stop buying crypto. Just go spend all your money on lottery tickets. That's the way to do it. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But still, it's $1 billion. And then that's it. That's it. The only other thing I saw was, I don't know if you guys saw this, the Saudis plan on building an entire city 100 miles long behind walls of mirrors. Do you guys see this? It's like, it's wild. It's wild. This is middle of the desert too, but you'll never know it when you're living in a city like this. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be reacting to something like this. So I've been talking about my new channel. I've been thinking about George Reacts. I got that going. So I'll be reacting to a lot of stuff like that if you're interested in hearing about it. So make sure you subscribe. I have that link in the description. All right, guys, that is it. Let's do some Q&A. Hey, George, can you elaborate on Matic and Disney for me? Also, general thoughts on Matic. Guy, that's too long for me to sum up here. All right. General thoughts on Matic is great. The biggest L2 out there by far. And who knows what they will do with Disney. So Disney basically accepted them as it was an incubation program, right? So basically they're going to work with Matic and help them grow and obviously integrate some of the future stuff that Disney want to do. For example, Disney already said they want to get into metaverses. They want to create metaverses like none other, and integrate virtual and physical with their theme parks. And Matic can help them with that. Matic has a ton of NFT projects and metaverse projects on them already. So think about that. Big fan of Audio, Algo, Cody. What do you think? Audius just got hacked, unfortunately, for $1 million. So That's an unfortunate thing. Cody, I think it's okay. They go ride coattails of Cardano. Algo's also good. All right. Let's see. Lord Smith, I appreciate it. Good turnout this morning. Good turnout. I apologize for the sound issue at the beginning. I'll try to cut that out later. Um, do you see any chance that crypto will not reach mass adoption and basically be 10 to 100x total market cap in the next 20 years? No, it's impossible. Impossible. Within the next 20 years, you will definitely see crypto reach mass adoption. It's literally impossible. We are on the cusp of something completely new, decentralization across the board, right? We are, you can actually state this is Web 3.0 and possibly Web 4.0 and beyond, right? You could just see it. It's just like saying when the internet came out and the first smartphones came out, could you not see that it's a perfect transition from our computers to mobile, right? You could see that. Like it was happening even before it happened, right? And it's the same thing now. So this is just like the next evolution. Like we know this is that evolution. It's just it hasn't happened yet, but it will. I mean, there's no way that we're not going to reach mass adoption within the next 20 years. What if an asteroid strikes Earth and wipes out all humans? Well, I hope it doesn't happen. And I hope aliens don't invade Earth. And I hope we don't have a zombie apocalypse either, right? Of course, there's a lot of situations like that, okay? But but I'm talking about if things are just okay. Not like some major, major catastrophe that happens. By the way, two shows that I'm really addicted to that got really good. I was making fun of Westworld season 4. It started getting really good. It started out really damn slow, but now it's picking up and it's interesting again. So in case you guys gave up on Westworld, you should watch it. And Better Call Saul is getting really good too. Really good. So just thought I'd throw those shows out there. Price action of XRP after the lawsuit. Well, if they win, it'll be really, really good for Ripple and really, really good for the whole community. So I really hope they do win that lawsuit, but that's not going to be settled until far into 2023, right? But yeah, price action could be good afterwards. Let's just put it that way. But you have to wait. That'll be well into 2023. It won't be in 2022. The Fed meeting, that's today. I'll be streaming at 1:30ish to cover it. But I think we're gonna see some good movement afterwards. I think we may get like a fear dip and then we start recovering big way. Unless Fed Powell says something really, really bad. Right now I'm anticipating that he is gonna be staying in line with what he has said before, 75 basis points, right? But he could go up to 100. I think even if he went up to 100, it's already been priced in. People will think, okay, he's being a little bit more aggressive due to the numbers that came out last month. That's fine. The only thing that would spook the market is if he does something higher. 125, 150, like something like that will definitely spook the markets and cause it to crash. But, if he's just doing 75 basis points, I think we're going to see a good rally afterwards. It's almost as if Cathie Wood has insider information on Coinbase. You like to think so, but honestly, okay. Here's the thing: when these guys, why is it going to random things? I'm not even clicking on them. Some of these guys like Cathie Woods, they look like brilliant geniuses because they caught one thing that did really well, right? Cathie Wood, what made her famous was her calls on Tesla. her famous calls on Tesla, and it has worked out, and it made her sound like she was a freaking genius. But then you look at her track record for everything else has been absolutely pretty horrible, right? Some of the stocks that she kept buying over the years, right, and especially within 2022 and 2021, they have made her lose a massive amount. So a lot of these guys, these fund managers, they're not like fortune tellers. A lot of them are just guessing too, right? And one move may have made them look like a freaking genius, but like a move like this, selling Coinbase stock, after it's been after it's down 75%, that's not a good move, right? Especially since Cathie Wood is still a big Bitcoin bull. Bitcoin goes through cycles. Bitcoin's going to come up. When Bitcoin comes up and there's FOMO, guess where everyone's FOMOing in on? Coinbase, right? Right now, yeah, the activity might be low, but just wait until Bitcoin comes up. And she's a big believer saying Bitcoin will go to $500,000, in 2025 or something like that, right? Coinbase will come up. So why would you sell and take a huge, massive loss on that right now, right? I don't know. Cathie needed to buy 1.65 million shares of Shop yesterday. Oh, maybe. Shopify? What did they report good earnings yesterday? Well, Coinbase is up 5%. So, I mean, she's already regretting it by 5%. What is Shopify at? Shopify's up about 5% too. I know they reported yesterday. Earnings announcement before market open. No, it's today. So they did report good earnings. Yeah, 50 million of Shopify, but I don't know what. Yeah, it doesn't say if they had good earnings or not. Anyways, she did what she did. All right, time to move past it. What do you think about exchange coins like CRO and BNB? BNB is a powerhouse, okay? BNB is not going to go anywhere, and they will only get bigger. So BNB, I think, is a fantastic hold. Sometimes they're very slow, and they don't move a lot, and they're kind of boring. But Binance is just so big, so big. As for CRO, I hope they come through. I think they, now in hindsight, where are they? Spending all that money on the naming rights and all the advertisements, with Matt Damon and all the stuff that they were doing, maybe it would have been better if they saved some of that money, right? But they're still big, $3 billion market cap. They have their own chain. They have dApps, still early. So I think they'll pull through, but there's a big difference between Crypto.com and say FTX and Binance. It's the gap is so wide. It's like, yeah. Let's just put it that way. Talk about XYO. Everyone is asking. No one is asking. No one is asking. The people are asking are probably the ones that want to chase a pump, and that's it. So I'm not going to talk about chasing the pump, just like chasing bottoms. Don't chase the tops. When you chase the tops, you'll get burned. What's your opinion on the Elon Musk lawsuit at Twitter? I don't know. I'll save that for my reaction channel. But there's not too much to say about it. Why do you think inflation will fall? Auto is almost here. Energy prices skyrocketing. No, the thing is, energy price is not skyrocketing. It's coming down. Barrels of oil have been coming down. Gasoline prices have been coming down. So energy prices are not skyrocketing. Now, as for Europe, you're mentioning about Europe. Now, I'm hearing Putin is cutting the gas supply to Europe, right? That's going to cause Europe some headaches. But overall, energy prices are coming down, and supply chain is coming down too. right? People are getting back to work. So a lot of the supply chain issues, like the boats and everything that was locked, miles of boats in the oceans and countries waiting for them to be offloaded, stuff like that. That's getting better too. So energy prices are coming down. Supply chain is getting better. So these are like the transitory things about inflation that will get better. So that's why I do think it's going to come down. Leo, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you could start over. Hopefully you get something from Voyager, and hopefully you don't quit, that you use this as a life experience and you move forward, right? We all make mistakes. It's really about how we get back up. What do you think about GDP numbers? If the number coming high, I think we'll take off. I mean, GDP number is measuring last quarter, right? And I think last quarter we definitely had economic slowness. So I think there's no doubt that GDP will come in lower, and we'll be in recession, right? But does that mean that, does that mean that we're going to be stuck in recession for a very long time, right? Deep recession. I don't know. A lot of these things, we got to keep in mind that this recession is induced by the Fed on purpose. This is not a recession due to massive layoffs and companies struggling. This is caused by the Fed and their rate hikes on purpose to slow down the economy, to bring inflation down. Because the Fed cannot do anything about supply chain, cannot do anything about inventory. The only thing they can do is curb demand. That's the only approach they could do. So this recession is Fed induced. It's very different than previous recessions. And if Fed can induce a recession, they can stop the recession too. They can start being not as hawkish with their rate hikes, right? And that's why this one today is so important, because if they're more dovish, I should say, and then they're like, we may not need to have any rate hikes in September or November, December, because we think inflation has peaked, it's coming down, we're seeing numbers that show that, right? Then that's great. That's great. And many people feel like in 2023, the Fed has to decrease rates again because this induced recession will cause problems, then they have to reverse course. So they may be forced to do that anyways. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a very different recession. This is a recession induced by the Fed on purpose. So yeah, it's a strange time right now. Very strange time. Anyways, I think that's it. Overall, I think there's not going to be a lot of movement until this afternoon, right? So tune in. It's around 1:30, this press conference. So I'll stream it live with you guys. We'll listen to their Q&A, which is, I don't know, sometimes it's so boring. Everyone asks the same questions. But we'll listen to it anyways and see what happens. But I do think generally this will be a good thing, a good press conference. I don't think we're going to see anything out of the ordinary, I guess. And we'll see. But we'll see it together. In the meantime, stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. Don't listen to Cathie Wood. Don't try to copy trade her because you'll lose. And so don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you follow the brand new Reacts channel. Very first video is coming out today. Whether or not you like it, it's coming out. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. I'll see you in a couple hours. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.